Reiner Braun is one of my favorite characters to ever be written in manga or television history. His character development and involvement throughout the series of Attack on Titan always leaves me emotionally invested in the character, satisfied with his portrayal, but always wishing he had more screen time. As a viewer and reader, I constantly want to grow in my emotional attachment to his internal conflicts, learn more about his psychological state, and witness his fractured past. For the sake of the release date of this video, and with Season 4 not yet being fully aired, I'm going to only discuss Reiner's involvement up to the end of Season 3 of the anime, or up to Chapter 91 in the manga. I wish I could talk about everything in the newest manga releases, but I want everyone who's keeping up with the anime but not the manga to be able to dive deeper into Reiner's character. So here it is. This is the character analysis on Reiner Braun. We first see Reiner in Season 1 Episode 3 of the anime, when he is lined up just like all the other cadets. The next decent glimpse we get of him is while Eren is discussing his witnessing of the Colossal and Armored Titan devastation in Shiganshina. When Eren brings up the Armored Titan, he demeans his power. The camera pans to Reiner taking a drink. This is the beauty in having the source material written so much farther ahead than the show. The new viewer would have absolutely no clue that Reiner is in fact the shifter within the Armored Titan. At this point in the show, we aren't even aware that humans can take on Titan forms. When looking back, it's tempting to infer that the blank face on Reiner during these scenes is our first real look at his inner turmoil over his actions. It may be a stretch, but there's a vague contrast in his reaction to Eren's recounts compared to the other cadets. Our first notable conversation with Reiner is when Eren requests help from him and Bertolt. Reiner is more reserved while Bertolt connects with Eren and Armin over their experience in Shiganshina. Bertolt lies about their experience during the devastation, while Reiner remains silent. Judging by Reiner's behavior, it's possible to infer that he's dealing with psychological disassociation at this point of his time on the island. He interjects very little during the conversation, but I believe this is because he doesn't want to slip up. As Eren, Armin, Reiner, and Bertolt walk to train with ODM gear throughout the night, Reiner emotionally opens up saying, "I'm going to return from the home that was taken from me." This is Reiner's thesis statement as a character. All his main actions throughout the rest of the series are angled at this one mission. Like I already mentioned, this is the genius in being able to work with long forwarded scripts. We as the viewer do not yet know the devastation and horrific actions Reiner has already committed and will commit throughout his mission within the walls. Reiner appreciates Eren's heart and connects with him. He teaches Eren and takes him under his wing. This is potentially his first connection with any of the wall residents, and it just so happens to be with the most powerful victim of his sinister crimes committed in Shiganshina. I wanted to go over these interactions with Eren, Armin, and the other scouts to raise awareness of the mental state Reiner first resides in the beginning of the series. He's obviously troubled and burdened with the atrocities he's committed. He's also homesick. He misses his homeland, Marley, and all of the relations there. It's important to remember that Reiner is only 12 when he, Annie, Bertolt, and Marcel are sent to Paradis to recover the Founding Titan. For all of those just watching the anime, I'm really excited for you to get to see more of this backstory in Season 4. I won't spoil anything, but it's really great character development. In the anime and the manga, we see Reiner and the other young Titan shifters witness the death of Marcel to Ymir's pure Titan. Marcel sacrifices himself for Reiner by pushing him out of the way at the last minute. I don't know how to sound elaborate about this, but can you imagine a 12-year-old having a near-death experience in a foreign land with no one else but 3 other kids and watching one of your comrades die in your place? Psychologically speaking, major events that occur or happen to a person at a young age often have dramatic and traumatic impacts throughout the remainder of the individual's life. Some of these issues can be helped and medicated with proper psychological care and time. However, Reiner and his comrades do not have that luxury. Soon after experiencing this tragedy, the group is tasked with the destruction of the outer walls. Mind you again that these are children having to kill innocent people who descend from the same bloodline as themselves, for the sake of a homeland who has only abused their kind. Reiner has no guidance after these events. He cannot talk to anyone to give him guidance or help for his needs. The only people he can talk to honestly are Bertolt and Annie, but doing so openly would risk them blowing their covers as Titan shifters. Reiner can only cope and brood over these sins within his own mind. And this brings us to my favorite part of Reiner Braun, his mental disassociation. It's one of the most highlighted and interesting elements of his character. As we learn of the trauma Reiner has experienced in his past, the viewer is left conflicted about how to feel. He's the villain, right? We just watched like 30 episodes about how we need to kill the Titans who destroyed the walls. When we find out Reiner is the Armored Titan and Bertolt is the Colossal, the mystery antagonists are revealed. We know who the bad guys are. The show that focuses so much on limited knowledge now makes so much more sense. We should now expect the show to be the good guys versus the bad guys. The scouts versus Reiner and Bertolt. Right? I mean, that's how I felt about the show. For maybe a few episodes. From the moment Reiner and Bertolt reveal themselves in Season 2, the viewer slowly starts to hate them less and less. We see them as hellish, mass murderers initially, but then slowly gain more knowledge, see more flashbacks, and grow in understanding about the two's devastating past. By the end of Season 3, I just wanted to give them both big hugs and tell them, I'm sorry. I know this is supposed to be a character analysis about Reiner, so I apologize for straying off topic, but just think about the emotional roller coaster the viewer gets with Reiner. He went from the big brother to Titan destructionist to this psychologically broken kid. I mean, remember, around Season 2 or 3 of the anime, Reiner's only 17. He should be living at home, going to school, playing sports, going on dates, and just being a teen. Instead, he's burdened with a covert mission and the power to kill basically anyone on the island. Except Levi. Levi is Goku.
He not beating Goku! He not beating Goku!
When Reiner came to live within the walls covertly, he built 2 worlds for himself. In fact, I think Annie and Bertolt also did. They could wipe out the entire scout regiment with a planned colossal explosion, but they act as if they're average cadets. They're warrior gods, but we know them as soldiers, because that's what they told us. That's what they told you, and that's what they told me, and that's also what they told themselves. Both Bertolt and Annie could handle the weight of their sins. They buckle and bite, but they deal with them in their own ways nonetheless. They know their task, and they know who they are. Reiner, on the other hand, mentally collapses. We see Reiner lose all semblance of control of his mental state as he watches Marco die. For the purposes of characters like Jean and Reiner, Marco represents perfection. He's very much like a Christ figure to the show. He didn't deserve the death that was brought upon him. He never once does anything wrong in his short appearance in the show. He's blameless, kind, caring, and gentle. As Reiner watches him die by his own hand, he breaks. He watches Marco get eaten by a Titan from a distance and doesn't understand why. This is because the soldier didn't do it. The warrior did. Reiner no longer possesses the ability to be one. In that moment, his cognitive control splits. Reiner's struggle with PTSD, bipolarity, split personality disorder, and disassociation makes him relatable to so many viewers and readers. I'm assuming no one watching this video essay has Titan powers, but so many people are psychologically fractured from traumatic past with abusive parents, relationships with advantageous partners, familial deaths, anxiety, depression, and so much more. The National Alliance of Mental Illness describes dissociative disorder as an involuntary escape from reality characterized by the disconnection between thoughts, identity, consciousness, and memory. Speaking personally, I've never dealt with disassociation in my past, but I have gone to counseling for help with depression and hopelessness, as well as some grief struggles with the passing of a family member. Everyone either is or will struggle with some type of mental or emotional roadblocks in their life. Anecdotally speaking, I don't know anyone in my life who hasn't had struggles and issues mentally or emotionally before. It's simply inevitable for all relational people. This is why Reiner is such a relatable character. We don't have to guess if Reiner struggles with mental illness. We know he does. It's his Achilles heel, his fatal flaw. His fatal flaw to the plot is what makes him a real character and not just a big bad teen in a show about scary giants. I really hope more shows and writers can learn from Isayama's take on Reiner. I would love to see Reiner be an archetype for future films and TV shows, and I don't think I'm alone in that. I don't think this spoils anything major, but Reiner gets a lot more screen time in Season 4, and I'm really excited to see that play out. I'm going to end the video here. Maybe I'll go even deeper after Season 4 so I can talk about everything openly. I really hoped you enjoyed my first YouTube video. I always wanted to do a video essay, and I just thought Reiner was the perfect character to do one on. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Please write any comments of things that you enjoyed or things that I can work on. I'd love to make more videos like this in the future, but a lot of that is contingent on if people actually want to watch these. I'd probably dissect other characters in Attack on Titan, or Avatar, or Death Note next. So like I said, thank you for watching, and I really hope you have a great day.